All right, welcome to the August update.
Agosto en español.
Pero.
We'll speak in English this time.
Okay.
Maybe one time we'll do a Spanish.
That'll be you only speaking because I don't know Spanish very well.
I'm almost there.
I think you're doing very well with your Spanish.
Thank you.
But anyways.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This past month in August, there was a lot going on, but also not a whole lot going on because we had Kendall's parents come in town, which was fun at the very beginning of August. They were in, what days were those, babe? They came in the 6th. The 6th of August through the 14th or the 13th?
Yeah, they came in August 8th, so like the second week of August to the 15th. So they're good here for like a week.
Yeah.
They were here for a week, and then we went to Rocky Point.
Yeah, so when we were planning August for Kaleo, I was trying to determine if I wanted to speak while they were in town or if I wanted to just focus on hosting. But that was their first time coming to Kaleo since I've joined as a pastor, and I think you had mentioned it might be nice if you were speaking, so I was like, I think I would enjoy them having a memory of me speaking at Kaleo when they come for the first time. So I spoke on a Greenhouse Contradiction, which was one of my favorite messages I've ever preached as far as, once again, just putting together all the stories of what's been happening in my life, the life of Kaleo, along with things we're learning from Howard Thurman in our book club.
Say that about every message.
I know.
Every message you give becomes your new favorite.
Yeah, except there was one that I was like, not because I didn't believe in what I was saying or that I wouldn't like tell somebody not to listen to or anything, but I just didn't love the way I crafted it, or you know what I mean? I just felt like I had crafted better things.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
But the one that you're talking about, the Greenhouse Contradiction, I did like that one.
Yeah, I think all your messages are good.
I appreciate it, babe. You're really encouraging. But that happened August 7th. And then right after we had Kendall's parents in town, which why not? Let's just talk about the things that we did while they were here, because why not? Because that was part of August, right?
Sure.
So while his parents were in town, we went fishing. I did a cast for the first time.
Oh, yeah. That's your first time fishing.
That was
we
my
went
first
to Bass
time.
Pro Shop and got some poles. Parents bought us some poles and different fishing gear. Yeah. Because they were wanting a fishing picture of us. And so we went out fishing, although it was like 100 degrees out.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there weren't any fish that were alive.
Salt River Lake here around like Mesa.
So that was a fun time. We also went and saw Top Gun, which I had not seen that. I was a little iffy about it because all the guns and violence. But the story itself was really, really good.
It was good.
Better than I anticipated. I loved that we saw it with my parents and your parents. My parents and Kendall's parents are also really, really good friends. They get along really well.
Yeah,
and my parents,
that's fun to see.
It really is fun to see, as well as like you're the only black son-in-law or black significant other in my family, because all my siblings are with white people or white people. So I was like, I'm thinking, what is the other race? So like, nope, it's just white. so it's kind of like a fun thing to have other black people in the family that aren't necessarily blood, but have become family through marriage, which is really cool. So anyways, we saw the movie together. My mom was crying because she loved the movie because it was about, she said she felt like it was about, you're not too old for you to do something really significant with your life. And I think that just really spoke to her. And so that was really special. We also did some shopping, and your parents were kind enough to get me this cool Nike shirt.
Because it was your birthday.
For my birthday.
Your birthday.
Which was nice. I always feel weird when people want to buy me stuff. It's just like a weird feeling for me.
Just receive it.
So that was really nice and fun. We also got to stay with my parents because they built a house in Desert Ridge, and so his parents and us all stayed over there because
big enough for all of us.
Yeah,
to be
they have
in
a
there.
pretty big house.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so we spent some time cooking, some grilled salmon, and my mom made some catfish and spaghetti one of the days, and they had chocolate cake, and everyone sang to me for my birthday. It was a really great time. And then right after your parents stayed, like after their visit, dropped them off at the airport. I'm sorry, my words today.
You're
we dropped
fine.
them off at the airport. Why do you say that?
It's going to be challenging. It's okay.
We dropped them off at the airport, and then we headed straight to Rocky Point, Mexico, because that's where I wanted to go for my birthday.
Yes.
And I enjoyed road tripping with you. I realized there's a lot more time to talk in a car on a road trip than if you're like on a plane. You can watch movies together and talk like lightly, but it's like, because Chris was even reflecting on this too, because him and his wife road trip a lot.
Yeah.
Is like when you have your own space in your car for hours on end, you get to have like really meaningful conversation. Yeah. And so that was just really cool because that was our first road trip.
Talk for hours when we go on road
I don't know if I want to go on a road trip with you and Chris. I'm just kidding.
We'll talk for hours.
When you went to Montana, you guys talked like for 14 hours straight?
Yeah, we talked the entire time.
That's
just
crazy.
Like a 14-hour drive. Yeah, we like talked the whole time.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
But
yeah,
it was fun.
It was fun. It was also very somber. I didn't realize how rural Rocky Point was because of some advertisement around Rocky Point that I've seen over the course of my life, and I just thought it was more of a city, like California or somewhere. But it was meaningful, I think, to see the wall, to cross the border on the ground versus flying. It's a very different feeling. It contextually gives you a lot of context of the people. I think too, like we were seeing, like there isn't a whole lot of commerce there, so a lot of the people really do rely on tourism, and so really wanted to tip people well and care for them as much as we could while we were there. Yeah. But then just like seeing the disparities of just economic injustice and just like poverty and things, it's like, man, like what is going on, in the world? I was grateful to be able to see it with my own eyes in that way. But it was different than I expected. But once we got to our Airbnb, which was kind of in a secluded area, and they had their own like private pools, private bar, private beach, that was really special. I think it was really nice being 20 minutes away from the city. At first I thought maybe we had made a mistake, but it was nice having the quiet. And then one of the days we went into the city and did some tubing and jet skis, and that was a lot of fun. But on the actual beach, we spent a lot more time talking and a lot more time reading by the beach, which was really beautiful. Yeah. And they had made drinks for us on the beach. We got massages on the beach.
Massages for the first time. Yes. That was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little daiquiri and get a massage.
Yes, it was so nice.
It felt crazy. It was wild.
Mm-hmm. And they also had horses on the beach, but we didn't do the horse rides, but we saw them carry all these horses.
You're right.
And it was just really beautiful. The only mistake is that we just got there later than anticipated, so we couldn't grocery shop like we wanted to and cook in our condo. Mm-hmm. So we were just like always trying to plan where to go out to eat and stuff like that. It was like 20
minutes away from town, so we had to drive out to town to go to a restaurant, or there was some little food spots at the place we were staying. There was one little grill venue, and so we'd go there and eat something. Yeah. But we should have done groceries.
Yeah. So that's probably the only thing I would change for next time. And then coming back, it was a really restful time, and we had a lot of great conversations. I know I mentioned that I've been getting mentored and coached by Dr. Cassandra Gold, and that's been really meaningful. And some of the assignments she's given me / us, we were able to complete while on that trip, which were meaningful. And maybe in a little bit, maybe we can talk about what God's been stirring in us for what we want to do together in the years to come. Yeah. It'll be kind of cool, which I know you also filmed your video too this month, which you can get to that in a little bit. But I thought of that because of Dr. Gold's assignment, so sorry to spoil that, but it'll be good to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. And then you're like, where are you going with it?
No, you're good. Show all the cards.
Yes, at Kaleo the next week, Kendall spoke.
That's Kaleo. Right. I did in August, huh?
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
Oh, and I didn't put that down. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you spoke.
Remind me.
You spoke on, I think, Luke 19. Or no, not Luke 19, but I can't remember the passage, but you spoke on prayer. Yeah. And then you allowed space in the service for us to pray for one another. I gave
space for us to pray with one another in the service. There's a passage that talked about being seen. And I talked about, why'd you move my mic?
Because you're talking like this, they gotta hear you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me now. But yeah, it was a passage where Jesus is teaching in the synagogue, and there's a crippled woman who's there who he heals, and then the leader of the synagogue is upset that Jesus healed on the Sabbath day. And so I talked about how Jesus saw the woman and saw her ailment and decided to act and move. And so I talked about the importance of seeing one another, And so then we spent time praying with one another and hearing of what's going on in each other and allowing time for everyone to be and feel seen.
Yeah.
And so that was a good time.
It was really meaningful. Yeah, I remember personally being blessed.
Yeah,
by
praise
that
God.
Time you always say praise God after so many compliments.
Because it's true.
Preaching, praise God.
It's true.
You're right, baby. So that was really well. And you spoke on August 21st. Yep, August 21st, because Chris was also gone. And I don't know. I can't say that I'm never up for the challenge, but I really don't like speaking if I don't feel like I have something meaningful to say. I don't like speaking just to speak, and maybe because I've been exposed to preachers that are just talking about nothing, and I always hated that. And so I just really want something meaningful to say, or like something that God's put on my heart. And so the Greenhouse Contradiction message that I preached the week before, or the 2 weeks before that time, it took a lot out of me because it was a lot of everything that was happening in my life at that time. And so I was thankful that you were like, yeah, I'll preach this time. And so I was thankful for that. So thank you for doing that again, babe. Mm-hmm. And then August 28th was the last summer gathering, meal only gathering for Kaleo. And we met at Neighborhood Ministries.
In the youth center.
In the Sueños Youth Center. So that was really cool because it's so hot out. We can't eat together in the courtyard outside like we normally do in the fall, winter months into the spring. And so the last Sunday of every month, we've been doing that. And so Kendall's been such a blessing, once again, opening up the Sueños Youth Center for us and just bringing out the games for us and just hosting us, really, to be there. And so that was really meaningful and fun. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the August recap for Kaleo, for me at Kaleo.
That's good.
Yeah. How about you?
Covered a lot of good stuff in there. You mentioned some of our trips and things. And so I'll just kind of talk about what's been going on in the life of Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think August is always, there's like different, you can call them break months maybe, or it's just like months where we don't have any active services going on in the youth center where I work at Neighborhood Ministries. And so that's what August is for us, because we just finished all of our summer activities. And so it's a time to like debrief, reflect, and give feedback on how summer went. And so we did that right towards the beginning of August. And part of that from higher leadership at Neighborhood Ministries led to me personally meeting with Kit weekly. And Kit's the founder of Neighborhood Ministries. And so I meet with her and we talk about leadership development of the youth and some things that she, as like the she is a pastor, although she, as the founder and president title, she's a pastoral presence in this space. And so she talks with me about kind of what she's done in the past and different things that have worked in pastoring and raising people to be leaders among Neighborhood Ministries and in that space. And so I meet with her weekly. And so that started this month in August. And then I closed out internships this month. That may have been the end of July. It may have been the end of July, maybe beginning of August. We closed out internships. So Georgia Ann, you probably heard me mention here a few times, was an amazing intern of mine. Yes. She is at GCU. She's also a good friend. And so she was amazing. And so she ended her internship and it closed out this past month. And so it was kind of bittersweet to see her go because she was such a blessing to this space, but excited for what's next for her. Yeah, she's got good stuff ahead. But we got new interns coming in. And so we have new interns. I think we have 3 new interns who came in. All of them are people who've like grown up through Neighborhood Ministries and their programs. And they're now like in their early 20s or still like 19, 18, and they've graduated high school.
Yeah.
And so now they are serving with us. They're doing a paid internship with us. Thanks.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, which is super cool. Thanks to a grant that we got through our workforce program at Neighborhood Ministries. And so they help out. They're all the different areas people can intern with is like the spiritual development side, which is me, the social justice side, which is Alfonso, who you've heard me talk about, my teammate I work with, and then Tanya, who you've heard me mention too, who's the head of the whole youth director. She has her own interns who kind of just help out wherever needed in the youth center. And so all of those interns are under Tanya's kind of track, internship track, but they all kind of help out sometimes where needed. If there's something that I need help with when putting together our Wednesday night faith gatherings, they help with that too. And so we have some good people who are going to be around helping this semester. I also spend August, right, to fundraise.
Yes.
So I spend August fundraising, kind of coming up with that strategy, asking God, who is it you want me to ask? Who are people that you want me to partner with? Who are people who are wanting to partner with me and what God's doing and the awesome things that are happening in neighborhood ministry space. And so that's the time I kind of write down a list of people who to reach out to. And maybe some of you guys who may be newer coming in, who decided to partner with me. And so thank you for doing that. And so there's $8,000 I have left to raise for the end of the year. And so I've been working on raising that and then also getting ahead for next year's goal of raising the funds that I need. And so one of the things I did to do that was created a video. So if you remember, when I first came onto Neighborhood Ministries, I made a video with Josh Coe, who was the videographer. He's an amazing friend, super talented guy. And we had made that first video when I first came on. And so we had made a second video to kind of give like an update of what I've been doing the past couple of years and also what needs I still have now to continue to do the good work. And so did that this month, and that was amazing. Youth from Neighborhood Ministries came and were in different B-roll and footage, and we also got to hang out with them, so that was a fun time, too.
Yeah, gave them some pizza and salad and stuff.
Yeah, got some Ziggy's pizza and stuff, which was good. And then we plan and prep for fall is the big thing that we do, too, in the youth centers. We plan for all the different after-school programs that are going to come up this semester. We have a lot of good stuff. We have anime club that we're offering. We still got tech club on Fridays that we're going to be offering. We have some art classes we're going to do. And then we still have the Wednesday night faith gathering that I lead and the social justice gathering that Alfonso leads. And so there's a lot of prep that goes into doing all of that, especially with different like outings that we'll talk about probably in the months to come that happen on Wednesday nights. And so there's a lot of outings and things that just require planning and some prep work. And so that's taken a lot, but it's good stuff that's going to be coming ahead. And you will fill you in on more of that with the months to come. And
we'll also send you the video too when it's done. We just saw the first draft last night.
So that was a fundraising video. I was talking about planning and prep for the fall semester for Wednesday nights, like the outings we're going to do for Wednesday nights and all of that. But yes, we'll have to share with you guys the fundraising video that I talked about before. We'll send it to you guys. And then we had our open house where we initiated our open house of families and members from the community to come in to hear about all the stuff we have going on this semester. We had that, I think it was end of August, first week of September. And so we just did it. And so as we record this video, it was this past week. We did the open house, and so that was awesome. Getting ready for everything to start here in September. The first Wednesday night is September 14th, so you could be praying for that, for our first gathering together. We want to start off good. Be praying. Another thing, too, this past month is that our old Kids Life Director, who I work kind of close with, along with the other members of our youth team, work close with. She transitioned out from Neighborhood Ministries. Crystal, who was before. Crystal. Yeah, we miss you a lot, Crystal. And so on the process of hiring someone new to be the Kids Life Director. And so they're going to in charge of the Monday night gatherings for the little kids. And so that's going to start September 19th. We still haven't officially hired someone for that position. But we're still going to get started and still get things going for the kids on September 19th. And so,
but it sounds like you guys are close to hiring somebody.
Yeah, we're pretty close to hiring someone. We're not far away. We're hoping they can come soon so they can help really take the lead for things that go on Monday nights. But until then, I'm kind of on this team to help make sure Monday nights run smoothly and that we have the volunteers in place and that we're finding the right high school leaders too to be these group leaders for these kiddos, kindergarten through 7th grade. And so Monday night starts September 19th, so you can be praying for that. And we have our volunteer training as we recorded this video this Saturday, September 10th, I think. Yeah, tomorrow. September 10th. And so we kind of do some trauma-informed training for the volunteers, and we also just talk to them about different values that Neighborhood Ministries has, and we talk to them about kind of what the plan is for this semester, being with all the kiddos. And so that's been some of the things I've been prepping for and some things to look forward to this month in September for the rest of fall. So that's kind of just a hopefully brief statement of things going on a little bit in my world.
Good job, babe. Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know anything else crazy going on in personal lives. I know you have a few trips and stuff that's planned. That's good.
Maybe a couple of things coming up for me on the Kaleo side this next month, September. One of the biggest things is over the next 11 weeks, starting this Sunday, we're going to be taking Kaleo through homilies from Oscar Romero's book, The Violence of Love. So I'm really excited about that, especially the more I learn about Oscar Romero. Pastor Jimmy from Neighborhood is also going to come speak, and Oscar Romero has been heavily influential in his life, coming from Honduras. So he's speaking September 25th. Also, I'm going to be I was invited by Dr. Gold to Power Rising Conference, which is a Black women's conference happening in Atlanta, September 21st through the 25th. So I'll come back in time for church. But I'm really, really, really excited about that. I hope to meet some really great Black women who are also clergy and also just business leaders in their community and whatever that they're doing. And so I'm really, really, really excited. I think this is the first one that they've had since the pandemic. So, and before they've had people like Stacey Abrams. I think they had Kamala Harris before she became VP. And also some other pretty amazing Black women. And Dr. Gould's going to be speaking on a panel there too. And she also wants to take me to get dinner and break bread and stuff like that. So I have not met her in person since we officially both know each other, but I've seen her twice in person at the conferences we've been to. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. And so I'll be speaking the 18th. Chris is speaking this Sunday. I'm speaking the 18th. Pastor Jimmy speaking the 25th. And we also have Lake Day happening tomorrow. So I won't be able to participate in the global volunteer training that Kendall's doing, but at the same time, we'll be in 2 different places. So I'll be at the Lake Day that we've been planning for a little over a month. And JJ's kind of spearheading that, but we're going to be meeting in a park and then for a picnic. And then we're going to be going to a water obstacle course in Lake Pleasant. Fun. So I'm excited about that. See how many people are able to make it out and just enjoy each other's company and have a good time before Sunday. We also have the Pancake Breakfast, which is happening Sunday morning, so every 6 to 8 weeks, Kaleo helps out with the Pancake Breakfast from 6 a.m. to like 8 a.m.-ish, where we bake and cook breakfast and then serve it to those without homes, because Grace Lutheran Church, which is where we meet, has been helping and serving and loving on friends without homes in the city for like 40 years, something crazy like that. So I'm excited about that. And also just be praying for Grace Lutheran Church. Pastor Sarah, who's pastored that church for 12 years now, is resigning. And she just sent out an email to the community last week. And Chris was reading it to me in our staff meeting this past week. And so we're just praying for what's to come for them. She's resigning, not really sure what the Lord has for her next, but she's been in the city and kind of doing the work all on her own for quite some time. And so I think this is a season of rest for her in transition and stuff. And so we're going to hopefully be able to reach out to her and just love on her in our own way, but also expectant and prayerful about what that means for Kaleo too, and how we might be able to help them keep things going, because they have several churches and groups that rent out of that building. So it's very much so a community church building for sure. And so we'll see what happens with it, but we're trusting and believing that God has everything in his hands, and that he leads us and guides us as we discern and pray about what God would want us to do in that building. But we're hoping that we can still meet there. I mean, it's a far shot that we wouldn't still be able to meet there, but they're thinking that someone from the community will pastor in the interim until the Lutheran tradition typically has someone called to pastor at locations like that. And so typically that could take up to 1 to 2 years even. So it's a long process. So definitely not rushing anything, but just be praying for them in that community and for us in this time, as, we weren't expecting that. So we love Pastor Sarah. We loved doing services with them. We loved collaborating with them. She's an amazing woman, but we also want and desire rest for her too. So that's kind of what's up and coming for us.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I know we're both going to be doing some partnership with Corazón, a community organizing group that's part of the Faith in Action Federation that we talked about, and that allowed us to do that trip back in, I think, February and March, if you've been keeping track of what we've been up to. And so, excited for that. Election year in November, and so we'll be working with Corazón to get the word out, to vote, get people registered to vote. So that would be fun too, this next season.
Lastly, babe, do you want to say anything about just what you kind of mentioned it in the video, but just what's been stirring in you/us for just vision God's given us in the next few years?
That I feel like is worthy enough to be its own separate video.
You think so?
I think so.
Why do you think that?
I feel like because there's so much there and so much to say about all of it. One, I think there's so much there. I think there's so much to say about all of it. That's really good stuff.
Yeah.
That it requires its own video. And I don't want it to take away from the recap of what happened in August for both of us. And then also is because I think giving this announcement of maybe something stirring in us, what we want to do, that there's probably some people too we should inform that we work with and people around us about that before we bring it to the public eyes and ears. But that's just my thoughts. Okay. But if you want to share anything.
No, that's fine. I think there'll be a little preview of it in Kendall's video, which we'll make sure to send to you guys, this new fundraising video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can always bite-size things. But I can see why you would maybe want to wait. But it's nothing like, it'll be worth the wait. Let's just say that. Yeah. And it's nothing soon, but it'll be worth the wait.
Something that keeps you guys interested. Yeah. We threw that out there.
But as always, thank you so much for partnering with us and supporting us financially.
Yes.
It means a lot. For real. It really does.
It allows us to do the work.
Even I was thinking for Kaleo, we're still doing our own fundraising efforts too, especially with several of our major donors having stopped their funds because of agreements and things, like they had only planned to give it during a certain time. And so we're still reaching out to different people, and Chris and I put our own fundraising video together and have been having conversations and have some board meetings and stuff coming up. And so just be praying for us as we continue to trust God for finances to continue to do the work we're doing the way that we're doing it, especially over the next year or two. And so thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Gifts, your prayers. We appreciate you all. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.